Hello everybody, my name is Silas Lindenstein, and welcome to my box score review of the movie Fantasy Island, or also known as Blumhouse's Fantasy Island 2020. Okay, so many of us remember the television show Fantasy Island, and I was one of those people that was super excited when I first saw the trailer of this new Fantasy Island, which had promised to be sort of maybe a horror version of Fantasy Island, or at the very least a thriller. I was so excited to see this fresh take on sort of what was a cheesy kind of television show, occasionally with hints of thrills in it, but it was something I never really thought about how they could present it another way. So I was super excited to see the trailer, and of course it has Michael Pena as playing Mr. Rourke. And Michael Pena is one of my favorite comedic actors right now. Okay, he's not one of my favorite, but he's one of the guys I really like who shows up here and again on different shows, especially in Ant-Man. He's wonderful in Ant-Man, right? So I was excited to see this film. Now, this is how the internet describes it, or this is what their log line of the movie is. The enigmatic Mr. Rourke makes the secret dreams of his lucky guests come true at a luxurious but remote tropical resort. But when the fantasies turn into nightmares, the guests have to solve the island's mystery in order to escape with their lives. Bum, bum, bum! Okay, so it was a low-budget film. $7 million budget, directed by Jeff Waldo, production company, Blumhouse Productions. I don't really know much about that. Now, I of course went in. I always try to see movies without seeing too much reviews. I don't want to, or previews, or whatnot. I ignore the scores, and it's tanking in Rotten Tomatoes, and it's pretty disappointing. Now, audience tomato score of 10%. Oh, tomato meter rather. So critics review. Audience 48%. Not really that good. And do I agree with this? Kind of. I gotta say, the film was a little bit of a disappointment. I was really excited for it, and I really wanted it to do well. I was like, oh, this could be a saga. Now, here's what I will say. The best things about this film. I really loved what they attempted to do with the film. I really loved the spin, the genre twist from what the series was like. The series was really cheesy, right? I really liked that. I thought it was a good amount of action and what I'll say heart. Like, I felt like they did have some, maybe a little bit of emotional moments that they did, got in there. I think that's one thing I remember of Fantasy Island was there was always there was an A plot that was drama, B plot that was kind of action-y, and maybe a C plot that was a little more comedic. And they kind of did that in this one as well. So I did think they blended it well. I did enjoy some of the lore, the explanation of some of the lore on how Fantasy Island works, how the fantasies come to life. I did like that. That's something that could be delved into, in the future. My three worst things about this film: plot holes, so gapingly big. There's a couple twists, lack of logic, cohesion to the film that's just not logical. It doesn't know. Okay, I see the twist you made, and I appreciate that. And for a second, I was like, oh, wow. And then I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. Then why were they doing that? No, it didn't. And some of those plot things and other things just kind of made me mad. They did not explain them well. They just, some plot things were mad. Notes about this film. I will say this film felt more like, I kind of remember they used to do these pilot episodes for series that would be like a 2-hour pilot, and then after that it would be a regular show. That's what this felt like. Kind of felt like they set this up on how it could be. Fantasy Island could move forward. I don't imagine they'll make a sequel to this unless it's trashy or goes to the Sci-Fi Network or something. I think ultimately the film suffers from not making enough sense with the characters' motivations and how they behave. A lot of it just didn't make sense. And I was so excited for it. So the level of disappointment I had is big. Would I watch it again? No. I would watch cutscenes. I would like to see if some of the things they cut out of the film made any sense. I'd like to see that. The story, it was adventuresome. You know, look, I could have it on in the background, playing, streaming. It could be on the background. I'd be fine with that. Like, if it's playing, I'm not going to pay attention to it. It's got a little mystery. I'd say plot. I'd say it's a little complex because it does have twists and such. You won't expect anything. It's not going to get an Academy Award. It's not going to get a SAG Award. The acting wise, there's nobody's getting nothing for this. They were okay. They fulfilled it. The writing, meh. It's my official rating, meh. This movie made me feel like I could write a feature film. You know, like it was one of those movies that's like I wish if I could have wrote the version, what I would have done. This makes me, maybe I can't, you know, I'm probably being cocky there, but I feel like I would like a swipe at it. Can I try? I would have loved to try to at least swipe and fix some of those plot holes. It made me realize maybe making a television show into a film is a lot harder than it seems. I think this probably sounded like a great idea, and as I said, trailers made it seem like, oh, this is going to be fun. But the execution was just really rough. I will say some of the shots were really pretty because it takes place on an island. So it kind of made me want to go take a vacation. As long as this movie's not playing. And I wouldn't go to Fantasy Island because that's just frankly scary. Because you have your... I think the idea of Fantasy Island is wonderful. It's just, they just executed it poorly. My final assessment, I give it a whatevs. I say stream it, and as a grade, it's getting a C+. Sorry. But it has made me want to go see if I can find the old Fantasy Island series and check out a couple episodes, because I can't remember any specific ones, but I remember liking it a lot. And then, so now maybe I'll go watch the remake that they did to The Love Boat. Alright. Take care. This was Silas Lindenstein with Box Score Reviews.